Hi. Hi. Get up here. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a new friend with me. This is Tux. We just got him a couple of days ago and he is a plant munching little fool. So I'm gonna try to get through this video without any disasters, but that is definitely not realistic. It's funny because when Andrew keeps him, he's an angel. But when I keep him, he pees on the floor and eats my plants. So he did munch on 2 plants, and I will blame myself for a lot of it. The first one, I was cleaning out one of my cabinets and I thought it would be a good idea just to put my plants in the floor and hope that he didn't eat them. And he grabbed one of my silver sword propagations and literally just took off running down the hallway. And soil was going everywhere, and that one had pretty minimal damage actually, and he got a huge spanking for it. And then last night I was doing the exact same thing and cleaning out my Fabricor, and it was funny because I actually had him in my lap like this, and I was talking to Andrew on the phone, and all of a sudden he just like reached over and grabbed my Florida Ghost. And I tried to like pry it out of his mouth and it didn't work. It broke right off. So he took like a little chunk out of it too. But I kind of blame myself for both of those because I was putting my plants in the floor and just hoping he didn't eat them. But anyway, I haven't filmed in about 2 weeks because I went on vacation and then we got him, and filming with a dog is not easy, especially a puppy, because we're working on potty training with him. And we're bell training him, and if he rings that bell, like, you have to go let him out. And so I'll be in the middle of doing something and then I have to drop everything and go let him out. And I also just have to like keep an eye on him, make sure he's not eating anything. So I'm gonna go give him a bone and then we'll get into the video. All right, the dog is busy, so let's get into the video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about my most uncommon plants. And I say that because most plants that we call uncommon like aren't actually uncommon. They're just like harder to find or get our hands on. So I don't want this video to be like showing you my most expensive plants. That's not what I mean by this video. I just wanted to show you guys what I have that is hard to find in my area, and that's something else. I know a lot of these plants might be easier to find in different areas, but for my area here, these plants are more hard to find, or they're just really out of people's price range and people can't find them for reasonable prices. So I thought I would just do this in like categories. So of like the plants that I have, like the plant species I have a lot of, so like Syngonium, Philodendron, Monstera, Skindapsis. Like I broke it down in categories and I have one plant for each category, and I thought I would just talk a little bit about each plant in the category and tell you guys where I got them, and yeah. So the first category is Syngonium, and you guys know I really like Syngonium, and this past year Syngonium have become a lot more popular than they were in the past. I know a lot of people still don't like them, but I just think they're really cool. They're fast growers and they're super easy to propagate. I have quite a few Syngonium, and I kind of struggle with this category because most of the Syngonium I have that I would consider like rare or uncommon have become more easily accessible in the past year. So there were like a couple I could talk about in this group, but I decided that I would show you guys my Syngonium Right Eye. And I feel like this one is harder to find in my area. I don't know many people that have these. I don't I haven't seen a lot of plant suppliers have them like wholesale. So it's very similar to the Syngonium Right, but the leaves are smaller and they're much darker. It's almost like black. And it has this like neon green undertone. Anyway, I got this plant locally in a trade actually, so it was kind of a steal. So the next plant category that I thought I would show you guys is Hoya, and I could talk forever about Hoya, but there are so many kinds of Hoya and there's so many different ones and names, and it's just unreal the amount of Hoya that are out there, and a lot of them are hard to find. Like, you know, you have like the Crimson Princess and Crimson Queen and Carnosa. Most of those are accessible in like big box stores, but as far as like uncommon Hoya go, there's a lot, and I had like a couple that I thought about showing, but one that I've seen lately here that people are looking for that are like really pricey is the Hoya Serpens. And this is actually my newest Hoya. I traded with Michaela at Queen City Tropicals for this, and I am so excited to grow this. I've been wanting a Hoya Serpens for so long, and I'm glad I could find it locally. But even though this one might be more accessible in other areas, I feel like they're really expensive. And yeah, so this is probably my most uncommon Hoya. The next group, I couldn't pick one because there's like 4 kinds that are pretty common and then the rest are like uncommon. So I decided to show 2 different ones, but this group is Skindapsis, and you guys know I also love Skindapsis. And the Argyrius, the Silvery Ann, and the Exotica are all like the 3 that everyone probably most likely has if they like Skindapsis. But further than that, they start getting a little bit harder to find. And one thing that I found out is that Skindapsis do not import very well at all. So they're hard to find like in big numbers. So like people don't usually import a bunch of them at once because they're harder to keep alive when you rehab them. So the first one is my Skindapsis Silver Princess. And this one is very similar to the Silver Lady. Tux is done with his bones, so it's disaster time. But this one is getting a new leaf too. And I actually got this one locally not too long ago. I think it's been like a couple months, but I propagated it. It was unrooted when I got it. I propagated it and just potted it up in soil, and it's doing really well. The second Skindapsis in this category is the Skindapsis Silver Cloud. And you guys probably just saw me unbox this, but this is more of an uncommon one, probably more than the Skindapsis Silver Princess. But I really like this one. It's definitely growing on me, and the new growth is starting to kind of come out. So I think it's gonna get a new leaf. I ordered this one from Ivy Plant Shop. She has a lot of cool Skindapsis. If you're into them, I would definitely check them out. Tots! What are you doing? No. Come here. Come up here. Tux, come here. Get up here. Good boy. Okay, Tux is back. Hopefully I can get him to lay on this couch and not eat a plant. Okay, next group is Anthurium, and I also love Anthurium. They can be a little bit more tricky without the right humidity requirements, but you guys have seen this a couple times. This is my Anthurium Warroa. And if you've been following my channel, you know that my boyfriend Andrew bought this for me for Christmas, and it was shipped in the really cold weather and it died all the way back to the chunk. And we just got this new leaf and it's starting to harden off. So I'm hopeful that it will do well, but these are hard to find. And not just hard to find, they're really pricey. And honestly, I mean, I know why. I think they're a really cool plant. I don't know if they're actually like rare in the wild, but it's kind of funny because I feel like when plants start getting hyped up, after a couple months, they go down in price. And these have been like a thing for I feel like a while, and the prices aren't really going down. So I don't know, maybe it is harder. I mean, I know it's a harder Anthurium to grow, but maybe it actually is like uncommon in the wild. Okay, next group, which I actually haven't shown very much on my channel, but this is my Monstera albo. Tux, don't eat it. And these are still like pretty uncommon. I mean, people are being able to get access to them, but prices just aren't really going down. And I like this plant a lot, don't get me wrong. This is its newest leaf. It's really pretty. But I feel like they're overhyped, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have one and I'm glad I bought it, and I'll never like say that I'm not glad I bought it, but there's a lot of plants that look really similar to this pattern of variegation that are so much cheaper. Like, honestly, the Syngonium albo is pretty close to the same variegation and like less than half the price. So if you can find one for the right price, I definitely recommend that you do, if you are really wanting one. They are pretty pricey. I bought this one as, it was rooted, but it had one leaf. This was its first leaf. And I rooted it, I've had it for probably a little over a year, and it's grown pretty well. We don't have any fenestrations yet, but this leaf is getting pretty big. So I'm thinking, Tux, he is chewing on this root coming out the bottom. Puppies are so funny. Like, I get so mad at him, but at the same time, he's so freaking cute. I can't be mad at him. Stop it. Okay, the last group I wanted to talk about was Philodendron, which I feel like is also hard because Philodendron also, plants in general have just become more of a thing the past 2 years, but I feel like Philodendron are one of those plants that everyone thinks is the easiest, and so I think a lot of people get into Philodendron before they get into anything else. No. And so I think Philodendron in general are more easily accessible. Granted, there are like some really rare Philodendron that are just like way out of my price range, but as I was like looking for plants in my collection, I didn't really feel like I had anything like super uncommon. There were a couple I could definitely show, but all of the Philodendron I have are easily, like, you can easily find them. They might not be cheap, but like they're out there. So anyway, all of that said, I decided to show my El Chaco Red because here, like, a lot of people right now are looking for these, and I know some wholesalers have had them, but they're not very cheap. And so I just feel like a lot of people have posted on our Facebook group looking for them and haven't really had any luck. So I don't know if they're harder to get your hands on. They are pretty pricey. I got this one from Michaela at Queen City Tropicals. It had 2 leaves, these 2 right here, and then it gave me this one, and then this is the newest one. And I love these because of that red back. They're so pretty. But I definitely recommend you grab this one if you can. They grow really fast, and honestly, I think most Philodendron in general are pretty easy to care for, even the like more uncommon ones. So definitely grab one of these if you can. Tux brought his turtle in here to play with so that he doesn't eat my plants. Good boy. Good boy. So I think that is it for like the plant categories I wanted to show. There's definitely more around here that I could have talked about. I have like pothos and what else? Like some string ofs. I have a lot of different I have a lot of different plants, but I felt like those were the main like bulk of my plants. So I thought those were the ones I would talk about. Again, I just wanted to say I'm not trying to compare my plants to anyone else's, and I definitely don't want you guys to do that. I don't want you to feel like you need to get these plants now. I just thought it would be fun to talk about the more harder to find plants in my collection. I feel like I kind of haven't talked much about them. I mean, I did like my houseplant tour and my like categories, but I felt like I needed to talk about the main plants from each category because most of these plants are also my favorites. So you could say that these were my favorite plants too. So anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing different plants in my collection and maybe find some plants to put on your wish list. Let me know if these plants are hard to find in your area, or if they're not, what plants in your area are hard to find. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video or this type of video. And follow me on Instagram at Plants by Kenna, and I will see you guys in the next video. Say bye, guys. Bye, guys.